Hey everybody, it's A7X Ben again with another video. A lot of people recommended reviews in general from the survey results, so I'm going to do kind of a fun video here where I take a look at some strange happenings. So there's some 3-masters that cost 17 points, which is a lot for a 3-master, as you can imagine. Most 3-masters probably between like 9 and 15 points, so 17 is kind of an odd number for a 3-master to cost. And just off the top of my head, I thought of a couple weird ones that I could base a video on. And then looking into it even more, I noticed that there are a high number of bizarre ships at 17 points that have 3 masts. So I'm just going to go through them alphabetical order here on Venture Trading in the database. So the Asgard is the first one, and this one is actually relatively normal, pretty much average Viking longship, 3-mast. Has the hoarding gold ability, which is okay. I guess I would use that if I had a captain and helmsman aboard and no other crews, then I could take 2 coins instead of 1. Not that useful, but and our cannons are okay. Not one of the best 3-masted longships, but it gives the Vikings a little bit more firepower. So the next one is where we get weird in a hurry here with the Banshee's Whale. 17 points for only 2 cargo spaces, SS move, a little bit somewhat strange cannons, ghost ship keyword, and ignores the first hit she takes each turn as long as she has all of her masts. So ghost ship is really overpriced. That's the main reason that it's such an expensive ship. And ignores the first hit is a nice defensive ability, but as we'll see, it's not that useful on this ship. And a link to Screaming Mimi, which is also weird because that's a super rare from Davy Jones' Curse. It's an L mover, which works best with rerollers, so I wouldn't use Mimi on the Banshee's Whale. And this is just a bizarre ship in general. So you've got almost nothing going for the ship. She's got a couple high-priced abilities and almost nothing else in favor. So you've got a 2S cannon. Yeah, it's so bizarre. I don't know what you would do with this. I've tried to use it as a gunship in large games, and it doesn't even work well even then. So you've got a complex and bizarre set of stats and abilities that do not match at all. So I would say it would have to have like 6 or 7 cargo to even be like feasible as much of anything, or dramatically change some of the other stuff, like 12 points in SL speed, and then you've got kind of a weird gunship that could be really fast as like partial scout ship, part gunship. So Banshee's Whale, very strange ship, has a link to a super rare, just very weird. Weird cannons, tiny cargo space for such an expensive ship, and being a 3-master, a weird ability combo, 2 abilities that are both pricey and don't really go well together. So anyway, moving on, we've got the Chum Maker, which is weird because she's such a rare ship. This one is not common at all. She averages maybe around 50 bucks on eBay sometimes, or maybe less. But anyway, the Chum Maker is not a very good Scorpion. So this one has a boarding ability I do not like at all, and just kind of subpar. It's just not good for the cost. So this one should probably be like 12 or 13 points, not 17. So the Chum Maker, kind of strange due to her rarity, and she's not as strange as a Scorpion, I guess you could say, because the Curse got most of the Scorpions, and most of them kind of do suck. So they're not a very good ship type in the first place. So El Rayo is kind of another weird one in my opinion. She gets +1 to her cannon rolls for every friendly ship within S-verse, so that's kind of like the reverse Cheerleader, I guess, ability. Versus Cheerleader, you give out cannon bonuses, which is much better, but it's also on really expensive 1-masted ships, which is a tough one because it doesn't work well in small games and they're really fragile. But El Rayo, this one has good speed, but then her cannons aren't very good, so you need friendly ships with an S to improve the cannons. But for 17 points, you're not going to bother with that. You're going to spend 5 points less and get Asesino de la Nave for way less, and you could have a captain and helmsman on that ship for the same cost, and you'd have cargo wrecking with 2S cannons with captain for the same speed and the same cost. So, and just one set earlier. So El Rayo, both versions of this cheerleader ability are overpriced, but this one is worse because you're kind of like taking bonus from other ships just to benefit one ship versus the regular cheerleader ability. You give +1 to cannon rolls to friendly ships with an S, then you can affect multiple ships and get, basically a world hater on like 2 or 3 ships or more at a time, depending on the game size and how you can optimize your like battle area. So anyway, more on that in other videos. I think I've talked about it, and I will again, I'm sure. So the Frontier is weird. in a way. There's only 3 hoists that were released, and this one is the best one. So it's three masts, 8 cargo, which I believe is a record for a 3-master. The Pandora has 7, and it's got hoist and secret hold, good speed. I just talked about this recently in a video I made, and it's just a great treasure runner, one of the best American treasure runners. You could make a case that she's the best, maybe American gold runner. So the Frontier is just weird by virtue of her ship type. Crazy cargo for the size of the ship, and she's also weird because the Americans hardly have any good gold runners, and this one is really good. So, you know, anomalies all over the place. I knew 17.3 masters would just be a bizarre category. The Grunting is a little more normal, kind of like the Asgard, just another Viking 3-masted longship with solid firepower. This one's a little bit better, I suppose, just because their firepower is better. All 2S cannons versus the Asgard has a couple 3Ss. Once again, she's got a treasure-based ability that's not very fitting. I wouldn't use it. Load up to true treasures from an enemy home island, but I would put a captain helmsman aboard. Pretty much mandatory. Both of them are pretty much mandatory for this ship because she's not fast enough to not have a helmsman. You need the captain to be a gunship, but then you only have 1 cargo, so you can't take 2 coins. So, anyway, so I just use her as a gunship. But the Grunting is, I don't know if you pronounce that with like a hard H, like Grunting, but anyway, that one is definitely more normal, but solid Viking longship, gunship overall. The Knights Errant is one of the original ships I thought about making this video, and the next one is the other one. And the Knights Errant is just kind of infamous for being horrible. 17 points gets you a 3-masted galley, S speed, bad cannons, galley keyword, ghost ship, which makes it really expensive, just like with the Banshee's Whale, +1 against the pirates, which is pretty meh. So this one is awful. So I think on the Fire and Steel set review, God Mason and I may have suggested 5 points would be maybe playable. I still don't really know what you would do with it. I guess like a support gunship in a large game if you were facing the pirates, but even that's really niche. So to triple the cost and more to 17 is just bizarre. The Knights Errant is just definitely one of the worst ships in the game. Not like bottom 5 necessarily, but close to it. I mean, yeah, she might be bottom 10, I'm thinking. But anyway, maybe I'll make that list someday. The Loup Garou has a weird name. So the Barbary Coast 3-masted French schooner here. This one also has ghost ships, so you're noticing a trend. 3-masters with ghost ship are overpriced and usually cost 17 points. And this one is a bit better. At least she's got good speed. She's got a good cannon at the bow. And this ship is weird, not just because of the cost, and it's a French ship with ghost ship, even though most ghost ships are like pirate or cursed thematically in the game. But her cannons are like a galley. It looks like a Barbary Corsair galley with the cannons. It goes 3L, 4S, 5S, so it gets worse and shorter ranges towards the stern, similar to some galleys. So pretty weird there. This one I have used as a scout ship in a large game with the good speed. You could put a helmsman aboard, and the ghost ship helps you be a scout ship by zipping over terrain and through islands or whatever. But it's not a good ship at all. It's weird, strange name, just weird in almost every way, really. The Pestilence is another scorpion ship. I'm not much to say about that one. Just boring. Not a very good scorpion. And then the Seawind is kind of similar to El Rayo, so she's got the reverse cheerleader, +1 to cannon rolls friendly for every friendly ship with an S of her. So this one also has fast speed, so very similar to the Rayo speed, bad cannons, but then you can make them better with the ability. I actually like the Seawind overall. I like both versions, especially the American one, so you can use it in a big game as like a scout ship or as just a pricey gold runner. So the Americans hardly have any ships with triple S speed, let alone with 4 cargo. So she's solid as a pricey gold runner, usually empty, maybe with a helmsman to make it 4S with 3 cargo space open for coins or resources. And the Jade version, there was a weird scenario in Command the Oceans in 2017 where the Seawind was docked at the Jade home island, I believe, and so were some other ships. It was a huge game with a ton of stuff, a ton of points and ships in play. And she actually did have like 3 or 4 friendly ships with an S of her. So, and with the junk keyword, she was able to shoot through her own masts and shoot at a ship. It might have been the Grichuan. Try not to give too many spoilers, but so due to the ability, I think 2's hit. Like, I think she had like crazy cannon bonuses with this ability, so it was a rare case where it actually worked out. But anyway, so this kind of functions as like a miniature review type video of these weird 17.3 masters, just kind of a bizarre category in general. It sounds weird, and most of them are pretty strange, other than the Viking ones and the scorpions there. So definitely kind of funny, kind of a fun video to do. So let me know if you want to see more category type videos like this. I will say God Mason is doing top 10, ships at every cost, every point cost, things like that. And I've got a lot of my own rankings threads up as well, the original ones from the top 10 gunships and gold runners of each faction. So thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what videos you want me to make, and I'll see you again soon.